Hey, what's up everybody? It's Logan with the Campfire Tacos back, and today it's a long time coming, but we finally have our Vagabond rooftop tent install. Um, this is the Vagabond, just the normal, it's not the light or the XL, it's just the regular, I think it's 2 to 3, maybe 3 to 4 person tent. But the weather is finally starting to clear up here in Michigan, so no better time to throw it on and go test everything out. So yeah, let's dive right into it. So we're gonna run through what comes with the tent and what all comes in all the packages, and then we'll get into the install. If you want, while we wait, you can go ahead and, first of all, you need to have this flipped over on its bottom. So these are down, and then you can open it up and take all the stuff out, but I've already done that because I've already slept in it in the living room once or twice. So all my gear is already out of it, but just go ahead and set the tent up so the hinges are on the bottom, and then we'll be able to work on these, installing the struts first, but we'll get to that in a second. So what all comes in the packaging? We have our, I'll just start up here, our hardware bag, a couple stakes, a couple tie downs. These are our ladder hinges. Those are, all this comes in this green bag right here. A couple wrenches if you don't have any. I'll probably use my ratcheting wrenches, make it a little easier. And then a couple more tie downs. Then we have our cover that actually goes over the tent when you're not using it. A couple boot bags. We have our cargo net to be able to hang stuff once the tent is opened up, and off the ground you can hang some stuff by the ladder. This actually did not come with it. I ordered this separate. These are the track lights. I had these strung up in there when I slept in it the last time, and they're super nice. There's a red mode and then different brightnesses of red and white. It definitely lights up the place, and they're super easy. Comes with a battery pack as well. Seems like a pretty quality battery pack. I'll show you guys that real quick. So here is the track light and the battery pack. See, the battery pack is actually pretty nice. You can charge your phone from it if you wanted, or camera, or whatever you got. And then the track lights, I'll just turn these on for you real quick, just so you can see. Just go ahead and plug that port in right there, hit the power button. It's actually a sensor. And then how did you, you change the brightness by doing something like that. But that's white, that's red. Slide down. I'll mess with it, but you slide somewhere or something, and it turns the brightness up and down on that sensor. So it's pretty neat. Just hang them up at the top of the rooftop tent, wherever you want them. And yeah, I love those. All right, continuing. Right here we have. All right, so I was confused for a second, but this is actually the, not awning, it's like the annex room. I added this on. That's the floor. So the annex, basically the tent's gonna open up flat. I'll show you guys all this at the end. And then the annex will kind of enclose around the ladder. So it's a whole separate room. You can throw the mat down, and then you just take your shoes off, and you don't have to worry about getting dirty. Just an extra space for someone to sleep. You could probably fit a couple more, 2 or 3 more people down there. And this is the walls for the actual annex, and that's just the floor. So I'm super excited about that too. And then we have our ladder, obviously, a couple of stakes, a couple of the longer stakes, and then our cross arms, or struts, whatever you call them. And then this is, I haven't even opened this yet, but this is my installation tent insulation, so it just goes around the inside of the tent, and you can sleep in colder weather. So I'm super excited about that too. But let's get started on throwing the cross arms in right now. All right, so starting off with these cross arms install, you're gonna find 4 plugs right there in the corners, and then there's actually gonna be 4 up on the inside as well. You have to fish your hand up through there somehow, and just basically pop those plugs out on both sides, and then you'll be able to slide these long ways. They only fit one way, but slide these cross arms over those holes and fish the hardware in, but we'll get to that in just a second after we get these plugs out. So we went ahead and got all 4 of those, or 8 of those plugs out. And for this side, the side that doesn't have the hinge, it was difficult. You gotta reach your hand in through the door right here, and then squeeze it across under. And then if they're not loose on the bottom, just take this bolt or a flathead or whatever you got and punch it down. Makes it a little easier, but you're probably gonna scratch your arm up a little bit. Nothing too bad though. This part will actually be, this next part will be worse. But what we have here is the hardware. There. I'm gonna slide our cross arms. See over those holes, get them pretty close, and then you gotta take off these end caps over here. They just pop right out. And then we want to go ahead and slide in our nuts all the way over those holes. Just like that. And then we'll be reaching up from under here, again inside the tent, same place you took the plugs out, and then trying to hit that nut. It'll be pretty annoying, but that's the next step, and then go ahead and tighten those down. So that ended up being actually much more of a pain than just taking the rubbers out. Obviously, because you gotta fit that screw up in here, and then I couldn't find a, what was it? Yeah, I think it was like an 8mm wrench or something. I couldn't find a ratcheting one, so I had to use the normal one, and good luck to you if you have to do that. It'd be easier to just, I don't know, have your girlfriend do it if she's bored, or an annoying little brother. That's a task for them. The rest of this shouldn't be too bad, except for just lifting this thing up on top of the rack. But that's all I have time to do tonight. I got some stuff I gotta get done, and then probably tomorrow, maybe the next day. I'm pretty busy, so we'll get this finished up in the next couple days, and whenever I get a friend over, we'll be able to toss this up on the rack. But that's pretty much it. These cross arms, these pieces of strut, make sure they're nice and flush with this first lip right here. See, there's 2, 1, and then 2. It's pretty much flush with this upper lip. Not gonna be perfect, but yeah. And we'll be back soon for part 2. All right, I'm back, and next thing we're gonna do is throw on our ladder. So what we have to do is flip over our tent 180 degrees, and then we'll be able to put that on. And for this, you'll need either both the bigger wrenches that they included. You'll need the 13mm, and then so either both of those, or if you're using a ratchet, I'm using my 1/2 inch. That'll do the job, and then we'll be able to put this together with these brackets. So I went ahead and got this first one started, just to show you guys what you're going for. But basically you're gonna have these 2 stickers over the holes on both sides and underneath. And before you can really not really, before you can do anything on this step, make sure this zipper is open, because you're gonna have to open it up, and that's where your bolts, your nuts go, is on this side. And then make sure the slant of this bracket is facing towards the tent, towards the ladder. That's how it'll be set up. And then get those bolted down, and then after that we'll be able to install the ladder with all the warning symbols facing up, because that's the correct orientation. And keep everything loose for now until we get everything put together, and then you'll keep this one just a little bit loose, tight, but so it's not going to come off, but also loose enough to where you can actually open up the tent. But we'll go ahead and get that other one put in and finish this one up. All right, so here we have it. I just got that installed. And just to note, the plastic washer, it comes with a metal washer and a plastic washer on that bolt assembly. The plastic washer goes between the two metal pieces, between the two brackets, the bracket of the ladder and the actual tent bracket. So that plastic one goes in between, the metal one goes on the bolt side. And it's not possible with how they made it to be able to fit the ladder, like these slots, both on the inside or both on the outside of these brackets. Kind of annoying with my OCD. I tried squeezing it in there, and then it ended up not tightening down. It was all cockeyed, so it is what it is. We got the ladder on, and then after that, then you can just strap down that last step, and then the rest of the steps so they're nice and, they're not going anywhere. And then we're gonna move on after that, but that's what you should look like right now. All right, so now what we're gonna be focusing on is our 2 boot bags and our netting, our under cargo net. So these boot bags have a little rubber rod inside of them. We're simply going to slide them into this groove right here, and then flip them up so they're nice and ready for when you take the tent out. Like that. And then this cargo net you're going to want to put under your ladder, or else it's obviously not going to be able to open your tent when the time comes. So we're going to slide that underneath the ladder. You can probably unloosen those straps if you need, but then you're just going to clip each corner to these D-rings on all 4 corners, and that'll be it for that step. So we got that done. Now we can move ahead onto the step of putting on the actual cover, and this should be the last step before we throw it on the bed rack, and I'll have to get that done tomorrow or the next day whenever I can get a hand lifting it up. But pretty much for this, what you're gonna need to do is we're gonna be separating the tent from the zipper, and in one of these corners you'll find this Velcro right here. Underneath is our actual zipper, and you see once you unzip it, it just comes out. We're gonna be feeding this through the tent, but we'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna take this off and then meet you guys after you have that done. So here we have that zipper unattached from the cover, and what we're gonna be doing is taking the zipper end, and with the zipper on the inside facing towards the tent, because we're gonna flip it up and it's gonna be on the outside later, with the actual zipper handle on the inside, I'm gonna feed this through. Oh shoot, I'm just gonna feed this through all the way around. Might be a little difficult. I'm trying to squeeze it through. Nope, it's not bad. Basically just go all the way around the tent. Make sure we're not getting caught up back here. Feed it in. And then around the corners, I'll show you guys. Just make sure it has a nice transition, so so it's not all tangled up. And then just do that to all 4 corners. And then after that, we'll be able to throw on the cover. So there's that. Went ahead and got that done on all 3 sides. It's on the 4 corners. And then you can just go ahead and fold up. The 2 hinge sides won't really fold up too much right now, but just fold whatever you can up. Because now we're going to work on our cover. And what we want to do here, there's just the one side that has the rubber rotting in it that we haven't touched yet. I'm going to bring this over to the last side of our tent that we haven't ran our zipper through. And I want to make sure that the inside of the cover is facing you. So you can totally flip it inside out if you want, but I'm just gonna run it through like this. Make sure the roam is facing the tent and the inside is facing you. And then simply just run this through the groove that we haven't touched yet. Push that all the way through. All right, just like that. Now we have that done, and if you haven't already, just double check that your ladder is strapped down. You got your straps over here hooked up, cargo net, everything's all set up and ready to be opened up whenever we go camping. But then simply you can just toss this over. It's getting exciting now. And just like that, we got everything all pulled down. Took any extra fabric. I'm not really sure if there's a certain way to fold up the tent after you're done using it, but I'm sure it'll be easier than doing it in that small living room that I slept in last time. Yeah, now we're pretty much right there in the home stretch. Basically, now we can just zip up the cover to the zipper. So I'm gonna have to pull this back a little bit and fish that on. I can actually probably do it with one hand, but I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna get it all done, and then we'll get to strapping these down. Went ahead and got that all zipped up, and I noticed make sure you have the excess zipper on, like, pulled out to the side that you fed it through, because it lines up. It has to line up here and on every corner and side, really. It'll get caught if it's not, and then you just have to end up just pull that zipper as far as you can this way before you get started. But now all we have to do is tie up these straps. So I fed it through the top hole and then back through the bottom one. If I can do it with one hand. And cinch it down. And we have, looks like 2 on each side, so 8 of those. And then that'll be everything for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, hopefully tomorrow, it's gonna be the same video for you guys, but hopefully tomorrow in real time, I will be able to get a friend over here and help throw this on my bed rack. Super excited about it. And yeah, so all we have left is, you know, all the hardware for our stakes and everything, and then the actual mounting brackets to go on the bed rack. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you find any of my videos helpful, leave a comment or like or subscribe, whatever you want to do. It'll help me out. And yeah, thank you guys again. Take care. So it's the next day, and I got my brother and friend coming over. And before we do that, I want to make sure it's all nice and ready for us. So I got the brackets right here that are going to go under the tent. I think it's just going to be nice to throw these on before, so we don't have to lift up each corner as I slide these on. So I'm just going to slide on 4 on each side. They don't have to be perfectly lined up or anything right now because they're gonna slide it when we're throwing it on anyways, but I'm gonna try and get them at least pretty close to where they need to be. So like this first one, I'm gonna fill it all the way down to the end. Second one's gonna go like a quarter of the way. And then same down here, quarter of the way for this one. Oh, upside down. So, and then all the way down for this, just so if they happen to not move, then they're already in between the plates of the bed rack, and then we don't have to do too much moving around. But we're gonna try that, and then the next clip, the tent will actually be on the truck, and then we'll catch up there. Hey guys, we're back. So I apologize, I've actually had this on for a little bit of time. I just never, some stuff happened, I didn't want to finish recording and edit and upload this video, but finally getting around to it. Ended up getting the tent thrown on with my brother and my friend. I would definitely recommend 3 people at least to lift it up and get it on the bed rack, especially if you go any higher, any taller with the bed rack. Yes, it is pretty heavy, but once it's on there, it's kind of a one-person thing, maybe 2, just to shift it around a couple inches. But what we did was toss it up there, separating these bolts made it nice because obviously if you have all four bolts like in the center and then you throw the bed rack up there, then you'd have to still lift up, pull the bolt over the brace, and then set it back down. So that did help a little bit, but at the same time, this tent is a little big for the bed rack. So as you can see, we have this stretched out to the max, the bolt all the way to the end on all 4 sides, all 4 corners. Sorry if you can hear that dog outside. But it ended up fitting and working. I've had this on for a while now. I've taken it out a few times. Took it off-roading, took it 6 hours north here for my marathon, and you know, it stayed tight. I checked it before I came back home, checked it a couple times, and everything, including the bed rack, has been tight. This might be like a couple of these actually, on these just support braces came loose, but the tent especially has been holding on great. They actually, if you don't want to deal with this, if you go with this exact setup, if you don't want to deal with this bracket like hanging off, I understand that. You know, I was kind of skeptical at first too, but they make, I believe it's extrusion that makes it. They make actual tent brackets for their bed rack. It's just like in the L shape, it's just an L connector. So basically it would go into the bed rack, it would connect here, and then it would connect directly to the side of this. You can either order it in a 4-pack. From what I saw when I was looking, you can get it in a 4-pack or an 8-pack. If you're doing heavy duty off-roading all the time, I would go with the 8, but just normal everyday, you know, highway driving, city driving, and then off-roading and camping every once in a while, I would go with the 4, especially because the price is pretty expensive for that specific bracket. But yeah, so that's what we ended up doing with this tent. I'll include a video of it opened up, just a short video. Doesn't have any audio, but I'll include that after this clip. Just basically showing the tent opened up and up on the inside. I have an annex as well. If I could figure out how to add pictures I will, but I probably won't be able to. And the editing app I use, I don't think I can record my voice over a video, but that's pretty much it. I love it. There's nothing I would change about it. It's a comfortable tent, easy to set up, take down. I really don't think that's an issue like some people say with these soft shell tents, but I love it. I love everything about it. And if you go with this tent or setup, I hope you do too. And I hope this video helped. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video and maybe learned something. All right, see ya. So here's a quick video of the tent setup without the annex. You can actually roll that cover up so it's out of the way and access whatever you have mounted on the boards. All those windows open up. This is the ladder you just climb up real quick. Super sturdy. Here's a quick look at the inside. Very comfortable, lots of room. Love it. Got the panoramic roof. Views all around. Yeah. This is nice.